All right, let's go.
Number 10. WASP 193b, the planet that should not exist. WASP 193b is 50% larger than Jupiter, and yet if you dropped it in an ocean, it would float. Its density is 0.059 grams per cubic centimeter. Jupiter is 1.33. Earth is 5.51. Cotton candy is around 0.05. This planet sits between cotton candy and nothing. It has 1.5 times the radius of Jupiter, but only 14% of Jupiter's mass. The numbers do not make sense together. A planet that size should be far more massive. The fact that it is not means something is catastrophically wrong with our models. It sits 1,200 light-years away, orbiting a Sun-like star every 6.25 days. The heat from that star is inflating its atmosphere outward continuously, but inflation alone cannot account for how little mass this thing has. Lead researcher Khalid Barkawi at MIT called it a real anomaly among every exoplanet discovered to date. The James Webb Space Telescope is being used to study its atmosphere. No explanation has been confirmed. A planet 50% bigger than Jupiter, lighter than a cloud, still out there, still making no sense. Number 9. TRES 2b, the planet that swallows light. 750 light-years away in the constellation Lyra, there is a planet that reflects less than 1% of the light that hits it. Less than coal, less than black acrylic paint, less than any natural material ever measured on Earth. TRES 2b is the darkest known object in the universe that we have been able to classify as a planet. A Jupiter-sized gas giant sitting so close to its star that it completes a full orbit every 2.47 days and somehow absorbs nearly every photon that touches its surface. The absorbing chemicals in its atmosphere include vaporized sodium, potassium, and gaseous titanium oxide. These are real compounds that absorb light efficiently, but the full calculations using these chemicals still do not account for the total absorption observed. Something in this planet is eating light at a rate that our atmospheric models have not yet been able to fully explain. The planet glows a very faint deep red from the heat of its star, but reflects essentially nothing back. Standing next to it, you would see almost pure black, a Jupiter-sized object, invisible. Number 8. Kepler 16b, 2 suns, 1 sunset. 200 light-years away in the constellation Cygnus, this gas giant orbits not 1 star, but 2. Every single day on Kepler 16b ends with 2 suns setting at slightly different positions on the horizon. George Lucas put this on screen in 1977 as the fictional planet Tatooine. Astronomers confirmed it was real in 2011. The 2 stars, Kepler 16a and Kepler 16b, orbit each other every 41 days. The planet orbits both of them together once every 229 Earth days. Its mass is roughly 105 Earth masses, close to Saturn. Its surface temperature averages around -100 degrees Celsius. What Kepler 16b proved was not just that one planet like this existed, it proved the category was real. Within years of that discovery, dozens of circumbinary planets were found, planets orbiting 2 stars at once. The setup that seemed impossible outside science fiction turned out to be common. The galaxy is full of Tatooines. Number 7. Kelt 9b, hotter than most stars. Kelt 9b is the hottest planet ever discovered. Its dayside temperature is 4,600 Kelvin. The surface of our Sun is 5,778 Kelvin. This planet is nearly as hot as the star it orbits, and far hotter than millions of cooler stars in the galaxy. At 4,600 Kelvin, iron does not form rock. It does not form liquid. It exists as metallic vapor floating in the planet's atmosphere. Titanium, too. Molecules cannot stay intact at these temperatures. The heat tears chemical bonds apart the instant they form. The atmosphere of Kelt 9b is not made of gases as we understand them. It is made of atomized metal. It orbits its host star every 36 hours at a distance 30 times closer than Mercury is to our Sun. The star it orbits is itself 2.5 times hotter than our Sun and nearly twice as massive. Kelt 9b is being irradiated by 44,000 times more energy per second than Earth receives from our Sun. The planet is so hot that researchers classify it as a transitional object, sitting on the boundary between planet and failed star. It should not be able to retain its atmosphere. Somehow, it does, for now. Number 6. HG 189733b, the planet that rains glass sideways. HG 189733b is deep cobalt blue from space, the same color as Earth from orbit. It is one of the most lethal environments ever cataloged. This gas giant sits 63 light-years away. Its winds move at 8,700 kilometers per hour, more than 7 times faster than the strongest winds ever recorded on Earth. Its atmosphere is loaded with tiny silicate particles, essentially glass, suspended in its clouds. When those clouds precipitate, the temperature drop is not enough for the glass to drift gently downward. At 8,700 kilometers per hour, it flies horizontally, razor-edged shards of molten silicate moving at supersonic speeds in every direction simultaneously. The surface temperature sits around 1,000 degrees Celsius on the cooler night side. The day side runs hotter. HG 189733b was also the first exoplanet ever to have its full thermal map constructed. Scientists measured the temperature of its entire surface from 63 light-years away using the Spitzer Space Telescope in 2007. It was also the first exoplanet where carbon dioxide was confirmed in the atmosphere. The blue color that makes it look beautiful from a distance comes from those same silicate particles scattering blue light in the upper atmosphere. A planet that looks like Earth, filled with supersonic glass storms. Number 5. 55 Cancri e, the diamond planet. 55 Cancri e is 40 light-years away. It is twice the size of Earth, nearly 9 times the mass. It completes a full orbit around its star every 18 hours, 25 times closer to its star than Mercury is to our Sun. One face is permanently locked toward the star. That side maintains surface temperatures of around 2,300 degrees Celsius, permanently molten. The dark side is frozen solid. The composition is what separates this planet from everything else. Its host star is unusually carbon-rich, far more so than our Sun. The planet inherited that chemistry. Under the pressures inside this world, carbon does not form graphite. It forms diamond. Scientists estimate that 55 Cancri e contains a layer of diamond, potentially thousands of kilometers thick, buried beneath its surface. One calculation estimated the planet's total value at 384 quadrillion times Earth's entire global GDP. The most financially valuable object in the known universe, 40 light-years away, surface temperature hot enough to vaporize most metals, completely unreachable, completely uninhabitable, sitting there. Number 4. WASP-12b, a planet being eaten alive. WASP-12b has approximately 10 million years left. After that, the star it orbits will have consumed it entirely. This hot Jupiter, 800 light-years away in the constellation Auriga, sits so close to its star that gravity is actively pulling the planet apart right now. Tidal forces have already stretched it into an oblong egg shape. Material is continuously stripped from its outer atmosphere and pulled down into the star below in a visible accretion stream. Astronomers can watch the process directly. The planet is losing mass in real time. Its orbital period is 1.1 Earth days. It completes 1 full year in 26 hours. It is 40% larger than Jupiter and 1.5 times its mass, but shrinking. The star is a G-type main sequence star like our Sun, same class of star as the one that keeps Earth alive. Here, it is slowly disintegrating a planet. 10 million years sounds like a long time. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. 10 million years from now is cosmically tomorrow. The end of WASP-12b is already scheduled. Number 3. Kepler-78b. It cannot be where it is. Kepler-78b is Earth-sized, rocky, dense, a surface covered entirely by a global ocean of molten lava, temperature reaching 2200 degrees Celsius, orbital period of 8.5 hours, the shortest confirmed rocky planet orbit ever measured. It should not be there. At Kepler-78b's current distance from its star, planetary formation theory says a rocky planet cannot form. The star's gravity during the early solar system would have prevented material from clumping together at that distance, and the planet could not have migrated inward from further out. Any inward migration path passes directly through the stellar interior. There is no route by which this planet could have arrived at its current location. It is there. It is real. It is dense, 5.5 grams per cubic centimeter, nearly identical to Earth. And in roughly 3 billion years, the star will expand and swallow it. For now, it sits in the place where it cannot exist, completing a full year every 8.5 hours. Its entire surface liquid rock. Number 2. PSR 1257 plus 12, B, C, and D. Planets orbiting a corpse. In 1992, astronomers Alexander Wolszczan and Dale Frail announced the first confirmed exoplanets ever discovered, not orbiting a sun-like star, not orbiting any living star, orbiting a pulsar. PSR 1257 plus 12 is a neutron star, the collapsed remnant left over after a massive star exploded as a supernova. It is roughly the diameter of a city. It spins 161 times per second. Every rotation fires beams of lethal electromagnetic radiation outward like a lighthouse made of death. 3 planets orbit it at distances comparable to Mercury, Venus, and Earth in our own solar system. Those planets absorb continuous pulsar radiation. Any atmosphere would be stripped in geological eye blinks, any liquid evaporated, any chemistry resembling biology obliterated. These are bare, irradiated rocks circling a spinning stellar corpse at 161 rotations per second. The universe chose this as the first answer to the question, are there planets beyond our solar system? Not a promising Earth-like world. 3 dead rocks around a dead star. A preview of what the universe mostly offers. Number 1. TOI 849b, the skeleton of a dead giant. TOI 849b should be a gas giant. Its mass, 40 Earth masses, puts it in the range of objects that should have swept up enormous quantities of hydrogen and helium from the disk around its young star and grown into something Jupiter-sized or larger. It has none of that gas. What astronomers found 730 light-years away in the constellation Indus is an exposed planetary core. No atmosphere, no gas envelope, a raw, dense ball of iron, rock, and water sitting completely naked in space with a density of 5.5 grams per cubic centimeter, nearly identical to Earth, and a surface temperature of 1530 degrees Celsius. It orbits its star every 18 hours, sitting in a region called the Neptunian Desert, a zone so close to stars that radiation and tidal forces destroy most planets before they can stabilize there. Nobody knows what happened to the gas. Radiation from the host star may have blasted it away over billions of years. A catastrophic collision with another massive object may have ripped it off in a single event. The planet may have formed late and simply never accumulated its outer layers. Lead researcher David Armstrong at the University of Warwick confirmed it as the first intact exposed core of a gas giant ever found around a star. This is what a planet looks like after something goes catastrophically wrong. A giant reduced to its skeleton, still orbiting, still holding together, barely. 10 planets, each one breaking a different rule. Hotter than stars, darker than coal, lighter than cotton candy, raining molten glass at supersonic speeds,
made of diamond, being pulled apart by their own suns, orbiting spinning stellar corpses, sitting in places where physics says they cannot be. We've confirmed over 6,000 exoplanets. This is what some of them actually are. Subscribe to Cosmic Hives. See you in the next one.